All right. So as we get people here loaded up in the chat room for the Q&A session tonight, I was getting some tweets right before the show with people very upset saying that their YouTube isn't working. So keep me posted on that. Keep me updated on that, and let me know if your YouTube is working. I see people are logging in, so that is good news as far as the status of their YouTube. So let me know what's going on here. I'm trying to get these live chat remarks to see if people are logging in. Just give me a check and let me know. Okay, I do see more people and more people logging in here. Let me know if everything's well with your YouTube. For some reason, there were some people saying that the YouTube was down. So keep me posted on that. Let me know if all is well. Do a roll call. Let me know that you're in the chat room so we can get started on the live Q&A. We've been doing some really fun and cool live Q&A lately. It's been very, very fun and exciting. I don't I have an interview every week, every single week. But I've done this live Q&A every now and then but this is the third straight week that I've done the live Q&A. And this person is a very exciting person to interview. So I do see people coming in. We usually get flooded with comments by now. So let me know if you are in the chat room. Keep me posted on that. Let me know what's going on. So okay, here we go. Here we go. People saying we live. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. Seeing some more numbers coming in the chat room. Okay, looks like as Jim Ross would tell Sid, we're live, pal. All right, cool, cool, cool. The people who are tweeting me, it looks like they are in now. So it looks like YouTube was pulling a rib on the Pancakes and Powerslam show. But we're all set, ladies and gentlemen. So YouTube was down, Peter says. Okay. But it's up now, and we're live in the living colors, as Dusty Rhodes would say, baby. All right. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I have to do a count of how many times this person's been on the show. I think he may have the record. I think we're at 7 now, 6 or 7. I'm not sure. He may have the record. So obviously he's one of my favorite guests, and but I think we're either at 6 or 7. I have to count and see. One of my favorite guests here on the show. Every single time, it's just something more exciting and fun to be on the time. I poured syrup on YouTube. Now it's working. Thank me later. Nice comment there. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it with as Leo Rush say, my man, JTG. How you doing tonight, sir? Oh, absolutely. Always. It's always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. And like I said, man, I think I don't know. I have to count. I think we're at like 6 or 7 times you've been on the show. So you are yeah. I think what's that? And it won't be your last. I agree with that. I think we were talking about like some 5 timers. I think the last time or two you were on the show, we had some conversation about the 5 timers club. That's what I remember. I don't remember what. Yeah. So this is at least the 6th time I think. So I think we had the 5 timers conversation before. So man. Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody, go for it. We got the chat room loading up here. Ask your questions to JTG, former WWE star, someone who I feel should have been the tag team champion, which I think was just it's crazy that he's never been tag team champion in WWE. I'll say that much. He had one of the most entertaining gimmicks in WWE, and yeah, it just doesn't make sense at all. All right, so let's jump right into it. It's true, man. I'm sure a lot of people agree with me in the chat room. A lot of people agree with me who are listening to the show. It's one of those things, man. I'm a traditionalist. I like old school, like characters when it comes to wrestling, and Crime Time was definitely a really. It was controversial at first, but it was kind of like, a Black Robin Hood type of thing. I mean, that's really what it boiled down to, and I think that's what got you and Chad over so much, because you were baby faces. Now, yeah, right. Yeah, and I think that the fact that you all were baby faces, I think that helped the matter. Because if you were like heels coming in as like, yeah, yeah, with some Tims, right? Yeah, so I think that. Yeah, I think if you would have brought in as heels, it would have fell in the stereotype a little bit more. But coming as baby faces and being cheered by the crowd, I think that really helps you all. So, all right, so we got a lot of questions coming in. So let's jump right into it. Hashtag Ask JTG. Looks like people are using a hashtag already, which is great. Let's see. We'll start with Francesco. What was your favorite Crime Time moments?
Favorite Crime Time moment? Oh, I gotta pick one. Can I have a favorite JTG moment? Nah, he said Crime Time, so let me stick to the topic. I'll have to say our first vignette. That was monumental for me, because right after our match, I think they were testing us. They were testing Shad and I. Because right after our match with what's the name of that tag team, the cheerleader tag team?
Spirit Squad.
Yeah, right after that match with the Spirit Squad, which was live, we had to shoot another live promo right afterwards. So after the match, we had to race to the room, and we did a vignette with Booker T and Charmel and Jonathan Coachman. And then when we came back on the air, what you saw was shot live, and we Chad killed it. And if you guys look back at it on YouTube, like coming from OVW, usually Chad and I, we take about one or two takes, but we were in the big leagues and we had to prove ourselves, and we hit it with one shot.
Yeah. Yeah. That was definitely one of the yeah, that was definitely one of the most popular moments of Crime Time history. So that among many, for sure. Let's see. We got Joseph. Would you have loved to seen that puppy gimmick, Papa? Will you ask him about that? I don't know what that means. The puppy gimmick. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Yeah. I don't know. Right. Jerry the G, that's what JTG stands for. I think, wasn't there, now you did you have said this on the show before, and I think you mentioned it somewhere else, that the little Jimmy gimmick was your idea first. What was your Yeah.
And the reason why I say there, because I'm not going to put it all in our truth, because he's just a talent, and
right.
When the writers see something, they can use that as a seed, and it could go off into something else.
Right.
So they'll eat on our truth. But my gimmick was to have an imaginary puppet that could only be seen by the WWE universe and by myself. So the WWE. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Big Mouth. That's one of my favorite shows right now on Netflix. You see how the hormone monster is only seen by the audience and by the main characters, and he's just roasting and giving his 2 cents. So that would have been similar to that.
Okay, yeah. So the person did correct themselves and said puppet gimmick, not puppy gimmick. Yeah. I guess the audio correct is it bit him as well. That auto correct is does more harm than good sometimes. Let's see. We have Wild Boy asking, how'd you come up with the beard cream idea? There you go. Plug your I was gonna do that at the end, but let's do it now.
And if you want to find out more about Six Weeks of Beard, please go to sahbeardcare.com. I came up with the idea because I was getting a lot of compliments on my beard. I kept very good. I had my own little format that I was using, and after getting a whole bunch of compliments and everybody was saying, "What do you use on your beard?" Like females were loving it, guys were asking me for advice. I said to myself, I need to come up with my own product, and because my product it works. I'm not selling a snake oil. My product actually works. Everybody's loving it. I'm getting great reviews. So if you have a beard and you're looking to fix some of those, having some issues with patches, or if you're having issues with gray hairs, it solves that. I mean, not completely, but it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because my magical ingredient, black seed oil. If you don't know what that is, Google it. It is a magical oil that I've always been using on my skin and with my diet, and it does wonders.
Nice. Now, Kofi Kingston did a plug for you without you even knowing, right?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. That's the homie, That's what boys do. He didn't. He bought it too. I gave him one. I gave him because he was asking if he was inquiring about it, so I just sent him one, and then he bought another one. I have a lot of friends out there that just go, "Hey, can you say something?" Like, bro, I'm just starting a business. Can you support first?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, Kofi supported, and he did that plug, which I really appreciated. I own one.
Yeah.
Maybe a free lifetime gift card for free products.
There you go.
SHBGood.com.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Gruss, was there plans to make a faction with Crime Time and John Cena?
There was a faction with Crime Time and John Cena. It was short-lived, but it was definitely a faction with our own trio action figure set. So yeah, it happened.
There you go. Yeah, you had your JBL moment, right?
Oh yeah, I did that on July 7th of 2008.
Destroy the limo. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's see. We got GHP. First of all, I want to say hashtag Chia. And it says, do you feel you were being held back because of your race during your time in WWE?
Ooh, I think that was a tough one. Well, knowing the business, I've been raised on the wrestling as a fan, and then getting into the business as a in my late teens, and being there in my majority of my 20s, still in the business but more independently. You kind of know the business. You kind of know that from experience and historically, there's usually is a glass ceiling for minority wrestlers.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because the base audience is predominantly white, and the audience wants to see themselves being champions. So it's more of a marketing thing. It's like if I had a black federation in Brooklyn, they're gonna want to see more black champions. You see what I'm saying? You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. The BWF, the Brooklyn Wrestling Federation. Yeah. Someone is saying, come on, Chris. Yeah, BWF. Yeah. Let me I'll help out with the booking. I'll help out with the writing. And I have a very successful podcast that I can bring some guests in and promote it. Let's make this happen. Uh, so someone is saying, Wild Boy is saying, "Come on, Chris, you can give us a better chia." Okay, so chia. That's what I get. That's what I got. That's all I get. I hope that suffices. All right. So was John Peter's asking, was John Cena hard on you?
Pause. John Cena, at first he was hard on both Shad and I.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to step our game up because when we first started working with John Cena, me and Shad weren't used to being in the main event scene. So we were doing a lot of stuff that a lot of new guys were doing, and he was hard on us, and we had to make a lot of adjustments. But we adjusted quickly. So yeah, he had every right to be hard on us in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But we adjusted pretty quick.
Yeah. How'd you feel when you got the word you and Chad were breaking up?
It was more of steps.
Mm-hmm.
We both wanted it. We both wanted to go our separate ways. We both wanted to see what we can do solo. The tag team division was not really popping at the time we were there. They were like putting single superstars together to make a tag team. It was like, it's not like what we would, Chris, you talk about the old school wrestling, like how it was back in the day where they had teams, like you had the Rock with the Demolition.
Yep.
You had teams that were
Midnight Express.
They weren't just wrestlers put together. And that was going on a lot in at the time we would Chad and I. So we were like, man, we want to do our singles thing. And see what future goes from there.
Yeah. Let's see. Rob is asking, you're close to a lot of the guys in Japan. Is there any truth to the report that many New Japan employees are disgruntled, and any idea why that is?
I have no idea about that. I'm trying to get to Japan. I hope there's nothing. I hope they're not disgruntled about money issues because I'm all about my money.
Yeah.
And I have to dig a little deeper into that. But yeah, anybody listening, I'm interested in going to Japan, so spread the word.
Yes.
But if they disgruntled, I need to find out what's that about.
From what I've heard, is change of management. So I think it has nothing to do with financial. I know that they are dealing with now. Their head booker is Gato, which has been doing fantastic. Harold Mage, I think Bushi Road is who was on them before they got Bushi Road bought them out, and then Harold Mage, I think he's from Holland. He bought them out within the past few years, kind of changed some things around, really for the better, expanding it but it seems like there's some change in management internally that some people from the backstage people aren't really adapting to very well. That's what I heard, at least. So, but yeah, that would be great to see you in New Japan. That'd be fantastic. Now, would you do the heavyweight or would you do the junior? Are you under like two? I don't know what the junior was. It 215, 210, 205. What's the junior weight for the chat room? What's the junior weight for New Japan? I think it's like 225, maybe somewhere around there, underneath there, somewhere.
The boy weighing in at 245 pounds.
245. Yeah. So you straight up heavyweight. Yeah. Crime Time. Yeah. Crime Time and the Killer Elite Squad will be a fantastic match. Two big.
Kind of push that on Twitter.
Yeah. I like it. I'm a big fan. You've been kind of jokingly beefing with Cody or someone, or someone sent a tweet to you or something like that. Yeah.
We've been throwing shots at
Bullet Club. Mm-hmm.
Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. No response. You know, they had a big league crime time, but but Shad and I took it easy on them.
Yeah, yeah. You can't big league crime time. Come on, you can't. You got y'all wrestled for the same promotion, and y'all got the same followers as far as just the WWE people. You can't big league crime times. So yeah, that would be interesting for Crime Time to be in New Japan. I think New Japan is starting to get a lot. I mean, New Japan has been very gimmick heavy, period. But I think kind of integrating someone like you and Chad would be really cool in the tag division. Like I said, the first team I thought of was Lance Archer and Davey Jr., Killer Elite Squad, and I think that would be a really interesting match because they're like really menacing heels, and you all are, baby faces. So that would keep the spirit of the kayfabe and the characters in there too, which people like myself enjoy still. So let's see, we have got a bunch of questions here. Gruss, did the WWE incorporate a lot of the elements of Crime Time into the Cass and Enzo tag team? Good question.
Did they incorporate it? I would say no. I think Enzo and Cass had their own thing. A lot of people would say that they mirror Shad and I because of the big guy, small guy thing.
Yeah.
But, so Shad and I, we both were on the mic. We both rocked the mic. With that team, it was usually Enzo. He was the hype man. Shad and I, we both were entertaining, and we both, we both brought something, balanced each other out. But with the Enzo and Cass, it just looked like Enzo was the more entertaining part of that team.
Yeah, and
to be brutally honest.
Yep, and Cass just threw a few lines there, here and there. So that is true.
Yeah.
Is the door open for a Crime Time return in WWE? Is that something you want?
That would be a lot of fun. I would love to jump on the scene for a little bit. The most 2 or 3 years. I don't know. I don't want to do nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But I'd love to get back on the scene and have fun with the WWE universe again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure that they'll welcome you in open arms. We got okay. So, do you see the influence of yourself in the Street Profits? Montez Ford and oh goodness, what's the other person's name? Chat room and yeah, and NXT. Antonio Dawkins, right? Somebody tell me. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, good, cool tag team, but I mean, they kind of resemble you, you and Chad a little bit. Montez Ford and
I've seen that a lot on social media. I haven't seen a full match from Street Profits, so I can't, give it.
Yeah.
Really good constructive criticism.
Got it.
But from what I've seen on social media, and it's kind of, you can say it resembles us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're stealing or anything of that sort, but I think it's a version. I think the Crime Time 2.0.
Yeah. Angelo Dawkins is the name. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it's
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's the perfect time to say that. What's your name? It doesn't matter. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Okay, good question here. Besides the Crime Time gimmick, what other character would you have wanted to be? By the way, your Christmas promos at the retirement home was classic. It's funny.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun. We had to come up with a lot of those songs off the fly because we weren't really too sure what we were doing at a nursing home.
Yeah,
we made it work. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we did, we didn't find out to the day of Monday Night Raw. We like to get there at the arena like around 12. We wait around for the writers to come out the room, and they give us a thing like, "All right, we gotta head to the nursing office. We're doing a vignette there." Like, what y'all want us to do? Oh, we're gonna sing songs, blah blah blah. And then we're on the way there. Chad and I are coming up with songs. Like, okay, how should we do this? And you should take that note and blah blah blah. So yeah, you have a lot of improv being a WWE superstar.
Yeah, certainly.
And what the other question to that was what gimmicks would I've liked to done? If what was the question again?
What other character would you have wanted to be?
Like again, I pushed the puppet gimmick, and I also pushed the gimmick. It was like an urban Joker. That was around the time that the Dark Knight movie came out.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 years later, I wanted to take I don't know if you guys remember Dead Presidents.
The movie?
Remember the movie?
Yep.
I was going to take that face paint and make it like Jokerish and be like a gangster Joker.
Oh wow,
urban Joker.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun. And, wore the Scully throughout the match.
Yeah.
But at the face paint, but that didn't get picked up. But it would have been great.
Maybe you can pitch that for New Japan or in the Indies. Kind of reinvent yourself. Maybe. Yeah. Let's see. Is there let's see, Rob is asking, was there anyone in WWE that you wanted to avoid backstage, executives or other wrestlers, and who were your top 3 road wives? That's a 2-part question.
Road wives. Hold on. Wait, what?
I guess
backstage.
Yeah.
I didn't really avoid anybody backstage. If I had an issue with them, we kind of pretty much in that locker room you handle it like men. That locker room is full of alpha males in there. So if there's an issue, it's going to be, you handle it like men. You bring it up. It's going to boil to the top. You gotta handle it. But no, I never avoided anybody.
Yeah.
As far as road wives, no, I didn't have any road wives when I was on the road.
No road wives, guys. But I mean that. Yeah. But that is, I mean, from what I know, that is something, that is a thing, right? Like as far as like a wrestler, kind of seeing one or multiple, people within the business. But that's good. That's good. Yeah. And then there's others. Tell JTG your beard is more over than most of the talent in WWE right now. There you go. Yes, yes, he is serious. Yes, he's one of my fave fans. Yeah, your beard is more over than that. Road wives equals people you rode from town to town with, traveling buddies. Okay, there you go. There. Thank you for the clarification, Rob. Yeah. What's that, road wives? It said road wives, so I don't know if that means male too. Yeah.
I think me and Cameron rode a couple of times together in different towns.
Okay. Now don't go. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Right. Right. Let's make it very clear. This people report from this show. I don't want to see no articles tomorrow saying, hey, possible old two former WWE stars in a relationship ? I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Let's make it very clear. He said just road. He said nothing about a relationship. So don't let me see any articles about that tomorrow. let's see. What D-Mac is asking, what part of Brooklyn are you from? He's from Bed-Stuy.
He's from Bed-Stuy. Bed-Stuy. Someone from Parkside, the dark side.
Parkside, the dark side, D-Mac. Flatbush?
Yep.
Okay, Flatbush. There you go, D-Mac. Flatbush. Let's ask a few more. I respect your time, so I don't want to keep it too long. What was the environment like in OVW versus the main roster, and do you see parallels with NXT and WWE?
The difference between OVW and WWE locker room, it was pretty much similar. Everybody's fighting for a spot to be on TV. But OVW, I think you were allowed to make more mistakes in the minor leagues. You know, that's where you pretty much learn. So you had some wiggle room to make some mistakes and correct them. When you get to WWE, you don't have that much. You don't have that luxury unless you're you're a son of a legend or you're a friend of somebody in the office.
Yeah.
But someone like Shad and I, who didn't know anybody in the business growing up, we came in there just off of passion. You didn't have that much luxury. So yeah, OVW where you made your mistakes, and you fixed them. When you got to the big leagues, Shad and I did make mistakes, but he wasn't as pretty much we got yelled at. But then you had to fix it immediately. There's no pretty much not so many chances.
Yeah. Why are most black wrestlers given the rapper preacher gimmicks? It's true.
Oh, that's a rhetorical point? When you answer that, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the writers. It's up to the writers.
Yeah.
I think because I'll give right off the top of my head, black people, melanated people, you have a lot of soul.
That's right, baby.
That's what we're known for. We're known for a lot of soul.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why it's so easy for us to get over doing gimmicks like that.
That's true. Being that you used it, whose sling blade is better today, Seth Rollins or Finn Balor?
Neither. Mine is.
Ah, good answer. Neither.
I don't care. My shout out with the best one out.
There you go.
I don't even know if that's what they're doing is considered a sling blade because they're not wrapping their arm around the other person's like I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's a good point. They just kind of graze their armor to, that's. I think Tanahashi does a really good sling blade, but yeah, Seth Rollins or Finn Balor. I agree. I think you bring that, you actually hook the arm and make it a part of the move. Let's see. Who was your favorite? Peter's asking. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up, and your favorite wrestler after joining WWE?
Favorite wrestler growing up would definitely have to be there was different eras. So in the 80s, it was, what do you want to say it? I'm going to say it's Hulk Hogan. During the 90s early 90s was definitely Bret the Hitman Hart. And then 2000s, it was The Rock.
All right. A few more here before we let you go. If you and Chad could team up for one more run, what 3 teams would you have on your must-face list?
In WWE or in general?
It doesn't say specific, so I'll say in general.
Well, let's just go with WWE.
Okay.
So on the top of the list, number 1 will have to be the Usos.
Usos, yeah. It's a good choice.
There'll be a lot of chemistry there. Look to work the New Day. And what other tag teams are there? Like tag teams, not wrestlers thrown together, like actual tag teams.
Well, the Bar is a tag team now. They actually won the SmackDown titles tonight. Who else is there?
You know what? I'm gonna go out and say this. I might get a lot of flack for it. but I think there'll be a lot of backstage chemistry between Fandango and Tyler Breeze.
Okay. Breezango.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be pretty funny, character wise.
Some epic backstage moments.
Any non-WWE teams you can think of that are really like Bullet Club or?
Still trying to get our hands on the Young Bucks.
Oh yeah.
Like, listen, I know the Young Bucks, but I know that we still got them on our
your radar. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I like it. Let's see. All right, let's close here. How did you wrestle in Tim's without breaking your ankle? Not wishing bad luck, just always wanted to know. LOL.
You know, it's crazy. I sprained my ankle a couple of months ago. A couple of months ago this summer, first time in my career. But when I wrestle in Timberland boots, I'm wearing like 6 or 8 socks. You know, so and I have an ankle bracelet.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty thick around my ankle.
Got it. Makes sense. All right, last question. How was it working with Chris Jericho? I think you've shared this before. How much you enjoyed that?
I always have great stuff to say about Chris Jericho. That was that's one of my wrestling, working with Chris Jericho. One of my I had my best match with him in WWE. At SummerSlam, that was one of my greatest and funnest moments in my career. Chris Jericho, Big Show at SummerSlam. I forgot what year, but it was at the Staples Center. And then also had a great match with him singles, and he put me over on SmackDown.
Yep. He's
And then also have to say about Chris Jericho, he's a standout guy. You know, a lot of guys in that locker room have a lot of ego, and with Jericho, he's very professional. You know, if he has a problem with you, he'll pull you to the side. You know, he wouldn't necessarily do it in front of everybody. Like a lot of top guys, you know, they try to make an example out of you in front of the locker room. With him, very professional. Put you to the side. Not only does he tell you what your issue is, what your problem with the issue or problem with you is a solution.
Yeah.
So shout out to Chris Jericho.
Certainly. That was 2009 SummerSlam. That's all I want to get you checked. All right, so here's the last question. I'm going to ask the question here. Speaking of Big Show, now he's in great shape, but he turned heel tonight to help the Bar win the titles, and you know it's like, right. So that goes along with my question. It's like, you know, he's been in the business for almost 20 years now, and over 20 years now. He's been in WWE for almost 20 years. And it's like all these baby face and heel turns, face heel. You know, he talked about it in the Stone Cold podcast a while ago, a couple of years back, 2 or 3 years back, is how, you know, he's just doing what the boss says, basically. And he's not a fan of it, but he just does what the boss says. Like, how do you think that overall, because I think it does. What are your thoughts on all of Big Show's face and heel turns, and how really, in my opinion, it just really kind of tarnishes the stability of his character, you know, kind of objectively. And, you know, unfortunately, he's notoriously known for having so many face and heel turns. What do you think that does with his overall character?
Yeah, that's definitely does his Hall of Fame speech. That's definitely going to be a reel of how many times he's been asked to flip flop between being a babyface and a heel.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said it right. You know, sometimes you're not happy with it, but you got to do what the bosses say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's I think he probably will. I think he probably will mention that in his Hall of Fame speech. That is very, very funny. Yeah, right.
That would be a great reel, because I would love to know over the 20 years of being in the WWE, how many times, because I've lost count, how many times he has turned from babyface to heel, vice versa.
I think it was like,
it has to be over 10.
I think it was like 22 last time I checked, something like that. Yeah, it was some Yeah, it was like 22. Well, he turned heel tonight, so I'll add one to whatever number it was before. Um, I'm trying to look now. The last time, oh goodness, wait a minute. Is it 32? Oh, I'm looking at somewhere it says 32. No way. That is insane. That is crazy. So 19, they're counting 95 to 2017. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I think last time I checked it was like 22, 21, 22 or something like that in WWE. But I mean that's still the fact that you have over 20 babyface and heel turns is ridiculous. So that's quite unfortunate. All right. Well, Jason, it's been fantastic. Please let the listeners know about your beard care line, and if you wanted to be a sponsor of the show, let me know. And let the listeners know about the beard care line.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, Chris, thanks for having me on the show again.
Always.
Had a good time as always.
Yeah.
Looking forward to being back again anytime. Anybody listening on the show, follow me on social media, Twitter, JTG1284, Instagram, JTG1284. And then also, if you have a beard and you want it to be sexy as hell, go to SAHbeardcare.com. Follow it on Instagram, that's Sexy as Hell Beard Care. We got all your beard care needs. We got beard butters, beard oils, beard shampoo. Yes, we have beard shampoo. Can't use regular shampoo anymore.
Oh, nice.
Beard shampoo. So you're going to strip the oils, you're going to strip the natural oils from your beard. Yes. There's a science to this. The science.
Nice. I got a beard. See this beard? Mm. The people are the live chat are looking at my beard right now. Ooh.
Everything catered to having a sexy as hell beard. You go to SAHbeardcare.com.
Wow. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
looking to get into the wrestling business. And why did I write this book? And then why did I write this book too? You got to get those two books.
They both are quite the captivating books to read for sure. I've read both of them, and they have some really interesting stories in there. So if you do a 3, let me I would love to do I'll be the first to read it. And if you need an editor, if you need a contributor in some way, let me know. I'm in, so that'll be great, man. It's been a pleasure as always. And go check his product out, and it sounds great. I want to invest in it, and go follow him on Twitter, man. If you have a beard, go get his stuff. He put a lot of stuff. He put a lot of work in it. It's natural. And even Kofi Kingston, someone who was 5-time, who was the longest tag team champion in WWE history. He endorsed. Yeah, he actually just won that achievement like a couple of weeks ago. He's number 1. He beat Billy Gunn. So yeah, yep. Man, thanks for coming on the show, man. Oh, looking forward to have you again. All right, have a good night. Chill. Thanks a lot, JTG, man. He is one of my favorite guests to have on the show, man. A top-notch guy. He's I've said this before. It's one of those things that one of the pleasures of being in the journalism business is that you form good relationships with people in the wrestling business. And he's definitely one of them. He's definitely one of my favorite people to talk to in the wrestling business. And yeah, so interesting. He actually writes columns for me as well. And yeah, so awesome stuff. Thank you, everybody who's saying thank you, Chris, right now. You know why I do it? Come on. You know why I put these interviews together? Alley-oop, ladies and gentlemen. He was there tonight at SmackDown, dog. I do it for you. Oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I do it. All right, so let's all right, so I got some Ask Chris questions coming in here. What's I love addressing. I did a chia for you, GHP. Let's see, Mr. Sacco, Moppy, or Peppy. Let's do Mr. Sacco. I just put draw Mr. Sacco on my and on the sock and put it on my hand, and there you go. Oh man, I love it. I love the emojis for I do it for you. I do it as in the clown, the number 4. Yes, GHP gets the comment of the night so far, and he points to you. I love it, absolutely. All right, we got Evan Tech Prout in the chat room. He just came from SmackDown 1000, and yeah, so he's got some stuff to say. DX, man, it's a pleasure. It's definitely a pleasure. Gruss is asking, X Chris, can New Jack be your next guest? If New Jack will agree with the PG show, so if he's up for PG, he can come on. I'm game. I'll bring him on in. Ask Chris Wildboy's asking, biggest flop, XFL. I had to do the XFL or Tamina's WWE career. Ooh. That's a good one. I gotta go XFL because, well, first of all, it's coming back in 2020. So, but it was like one season and it was so bad. Like that would be the same thing as saying Tamina, that means that would be the same thing as saying the Tamina had like a hop, skip, and a jump career, and she's gone. So, she's still. There's a very, very slight chance. There's a really, really slight chance that Tamina will win. Yeah. The any title ever, unfortunately, but at least there's a chance. At least there's a chance, ladies and gentlemen. As long as I have 2 fists, I have a fighting chance, is what James Ellsworth would say. Who actually appeared in on Bound for Glory. Lost to Eli Drake, but Abyss came and made that. We're going to talk about Aries too here after I address a few of these Ask Chris questions. I'm going to talk about Austin Aries with Bound for Glory. Some good questions here. D-Max asking, what led you to wrestling journalism and what was your breakthrough? Great question, D-Mac. What led me to wrestling journalism? The fact that I'm an entrepreneur by nature, and I feel that if you enjoy doing something that you do for free, you get paid for it. So I loved wrestling. I still love wrestling. I'm a lifer. I've been watching wrestling since I was like 4 years old. So, and I've loved it. So I was like, hey, why don't just get paid for it? So about 10 years ago, I started doing stuff for free because I know a lot of times, in order to be successful at something, you gotta do it for little to nothing. I'm sure that just about every wrestler that's wrestled, before 2005, could tell you that. Wrestling in matches for little to nothing, and I started with it was called Hub Pages. I don't even know if it's still around. I think it may be, but it was called Hub Pages. I had no idea where to start my journalism career. I knew I had no inside track to any wrestling journalist whatsoever. I had no clue, absolutely no clue. And I was like, you know what? I started looking around and saying, how can I be a journalist? And I was like, I saw hub pages, and I was like, okay, well, here's an opportunity right here to write. And so I had a column on hub pages called Yes, No, Maybe. Yes, No, Maybe. I would say every week I did a Raw review, and I would say the good thing, which is yes, the bad thing, which was no, and then the maybe, which was something that I would consider being okay or had some chance. So I did that for a number of weeks. I gained a good following doing that. I did that for absolutely free. I did that for about 3 or 4 months, and that gained some traction that I had a good enough resume to actually submit that to Bleacher Report. I started off with just being a regular contributor. Within weeks, I was becoming so successful in Bleacher Report that I became a feature columnist. And yeah, so the feature columnist led me to so we're talking 2012 here. Actually, I did that for a while. The yes, no, maybes. Yeah, about a couple years, maybe a year or so. So that led me to Bleach Report, and Bleach Report got me a job with Wrestling Inc. And that started to develop my resume to get a job at Sports Illustrated, a freelance job, Sports Illustrated, which led to Fox Sports, which led to managing a site and staying faithful to Wrestling Inc. And I've written for many other sites. Google my name and you'll see all the wrestling sites that I've written for. And I am a freelancer for Digital Spy, which is one of the biggest UK sites, one of the biggest websites in the UK. So yeah, man, that's how it was. Just constant, constant grinding, constant, seriously, constant grinding. There was years that I didn't get paid. It went from years that I didn't get paid anything. Probably about 3 years I didn't get paid a dime. I was just building up my resume, having dozens and dozens and dozens of articles, and that led to getting paid well for it now. So and with my deeply religious beliefs, I have to credit God for that. So all right, so let's see. Did you or anyone catch when Corey Graves said Iverson is rolling over in his grave? I did catch that. I think that was a rib. Iverson is not dead, but I think it was one of those, he's not dead, but if he was dead, he'd be rolling over in his grave. Robert's asking, it was reported that Vince McMahon didn't trust young talent because he's been buried by guys like Brock and Punk. Is it time for talent to step away elsewhere until Triple H takes over, or just ride it out? So when you say young talent, what are you thinking? Like how young? Because you have like Johnny Gargano, who's in his about to be mid 30s, early 30s. I think Gargano is in. Let's see, Johnny Gargano. I think he's early 30s. Let's see. Gargano is. Let's see. Gargano was born in 87, so he's 31. So yeah. So if you're talking about someone like Gargano, I would definitely have him ride it out because he spent so much he spent so much time in the indies to get somewhere like WWE. So, and plus, it's one of those things that the indie show is the indie scene is really popular now, but the problem is it's like you don't really see like substantial gain in the indie scenes if you just say I'm going to leave WWE. There's not many people who can say that they've been more successful outside of WWE financially. Gruss is saying, will you play Dr. Trey Natural Born Killers if you get New Jack? And just like his matches, play it the whole time, the entire time. All of the interview, play the entire match. Play the entire song. All right, Evan Tech Prout, man. Hey yo, it's survey time. Did anybody come here to listen to all those other J Brown podcasts, or did you come here to listen to P and P? Survey says one more for the good guys. Absolutely. Exact number, how many bottles of water has Triple H wasted in his career? Exact number, I would say 1,796. Why did the UK NXT tag team titles look better than Raw and SmackDown titles? That's a great question. And the UK Championship. I looked at those titles look so regal. Yeah, they look so good. And the UK Women's Championship. They look really, really good. They put a lot of work in those UK championships. And yeah. No, they just you're right. They just slapped the brand on there and that's it. So like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I think it's quite odd. Yeah, I actually reached out to a source yesterday and about the titles and who makes the titles and is there any chance of WWE having a new title since there's so much work into the NXT titles, and the person didn't know, unfortunately. Let's see. So I found from 2012, I found a link to my Yes, No, Maybe article. I want to see if it still comes up. I don't know if they shut my stuff down since it's over 6 years old, almost 7 years old. It says page not found. Boo. Page not found. Yeah, there you go. Page not found. The beginning, Genesis, if you will, under the mat radio. Yeah. I always make sure I have my stuff backed up. I see a bunch of links. To my articles, but that I would just send to people. See that's grassroots grinding right there. I would just send articles to people. The problem is, republish. Okay, so if you're the author of this page, sign in and you can edit or republish your hub. Well, let's see. I'm trying to sign. I have no idea what my sign-in is though. No clue. I don't know. That was almost 7 years ago. I have no clue what my sign is though. It's good to be back. I know it's been gone. I was gone last week. I was under the weather, and today's my lovely daughter's birthday. She turned 17, and had the last minute opportunity of being at SmackDown 1000, which I know we'll talk about later. Mm-hmm.
I got in the house and I ran and called to be on the show. Definitely feels weird. Yeah, I did a question. As well, how do we get into this? And I never really was a journalist, but being in communications, doing communications for over 20 years, and doing my show for over 5. I think you got me beat by a year. You're doing your show for 6. And, like you said, man, it was constant grinding. It's a lot of literal blood, sweat, tears, finger cramps,
Man.
no sleep, emails,
Yep.
phone calls, text messages, mailing letters, miles on the road,
Mm-hmm.
after parties, favors. It's a lot.
Yep.
And,
Money.
Yeah, money. Feel like wasting time.
Yeah.
Paying for tickets, setting up rings, helping, playing the quadruple duty, helping the ring, setting up, going over matches, helping the boys, carrying luggage. You get one interview for 5 minutes.
Yep.
It's a lot, but I have a cousin. He just started his YouTube podcast, and it's funny. He inboxed me on my way to SmackDown, asking me the same thing. We just advice, and I told him, basically just told him the same thing. It takes time.
Oh yeah.
For us to get where we're at now, and I mean, he said we still got ways to go, but it's always good to have friendly competition. You're brothers personally and professionally, and we've had great names, and we have friendly competition.
Mm-hmm.
We just make sure we won't, we won't Shawn Michaels each other.
Right. Stiff Vader like Shawn Michaels did. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Baldy Shawn, ladies and gentlemen, Baldy Shawn. So right now, the chat room, we're talking about the most attractive person in NXT. Yeah. So how about yeah, my wife is hotter than anybody else. I'll say that.
Hey, I got to put my fiance up there. That thing we're 1A. That thing we will put up there.
There you go.
We personally both Pancakes Powerslams.
Yeah.
Fiance, your wife, very beautiful. Shout out to Sister Featherstone.
Sister Featherstone.
My lovely fiance, Melody.
Yeah.
Everybody else falls.
Yes. That's right. Yeah. But there's some attractive people, and it's so funny. My wife asked me, she like is madly in love with me to like the jealous type of thing, like I'm like that's my man type of thing, like not like crazy, but just like that's my husband, and don't be flirting with my man type thing. But she loves Jesus like I do, so she keeps it Christ-like. But it's like she asked me yesterday. She was asking me. Ember Moon was coming down the ramp on Raw, and she was like, "Do you think that Ember Moon is sexy?" And I'm like, "Sexy? Like, I wouldn't entertain that thought." Of saying some other girl is sexy to my wife, like that doesn't make sense. But and then so we ended up talking about the word sexy and what that means, and she said she was raised up to not really understand what the word means. She used it as an attractive. I was like, no, the root word sex isn't sexy, so it's alluring to the point of wanting to do things, at least thinking about it. And so she I agree. See, I'm not going to name any names. I agree with that comment. It's a trap. I agree, D-Map. Yes, it is a trap. And then so yeah, so it was a trap, and I understood that. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I was like, I'm not going to entertain that thought. I'm not going to entertain the thought. And so she's like, someone can. So I was like, do you think Roman Reigns is sexy? She's like, yeah. And she's like, no, well, I didn't mean sexy, right? And so I was, and so she was like, I didn't mean sexy as in. So basically, she you know, she was trying to trap me, in in a way of saying like, so what do you think about Ember Moon? You know, and so she was like, no, she's like, no. She's like, wait a minute. She's like, you're my husband, and there's no one before you. Like, you are perfect to me. You're totally my type. And she's like, yeah, right. And which I agree. She's made it very clear that, you know, there's like she's like madly in love with me, and she shows it. Um but she but she hold on, she did say that Roman Reigns was attractive, which I don't mind. I mean, you know, she has eyes. It's I'm totally fine with her saying guys are attractive. And so since she said it first, I was like, yeah, Ember Moon is attractive. So like, I didn't. So I'm about to become a doctor in psychology. Okay, so I out trapped the trapper. So, and at the end of the conversation, she was left like I like she was outwitted in that conversation about Ember Moon. So, but yeah.
I had to reverse. Me and my fiance, we don't mind say, oh, babe, she's straight. Like, oh, yeah, she's straight. You know, she can get it. We'll joke. My fiance is more loose. You met her. She said, oh, she's pretty. You know, we joke around with it. I said, oh, she's pretty. You know, she can get it joking around. You know, we just end it like that. But of course, at the end of the day, I didn't nothing's gonna. We can joke and hopefully say, oh, she's pretty or he's pretty, but. Because my fiance thinks, she thinks Roman Reigns is cute. She loves, thinks the Bruno and Rock.
Everybody thinks Roman Reigns is cute.
Right. But, we joke about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Other than that, me and you, Chris, you're not going to mention names. Remember, we was on the floor of WrestleMania, and who was it? We saw who was in the ring. We both was like, we gave each other the like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Like, yeah, all right, yeah. And you was lucky because my fiance was sitting right next.
Yes, mine was in Ohio, and I was in Louisiana. My wife was in Ohio. Yeah.
I love Seinfeld, but certain shades of light, he looks attractive.
Mm-hmm.
She looks okay. I think I feel pretty cute. I was really into the Asian chick. She's cute. It's all lot. Mickey James still looks amazing. Literally just said hi to her. She walked by me and last week. Apparently now, it's not too many. You talk about NXT. I can't think of anybody.
No. D-Mac is saying outside of my wife, I'll throw a mention to Kiera Hogan. Saw her live at the taping. She's blessed. Yeah, Kiera's pretty. I'll get as far as the prettiest to me. I'll say Bianca Belair. I think she's very pretty. So, yeah, she's pretty. Nah, not for me, at least.
Someone said Keisha Cole. She's not a wrestler.
Well, I think GSP was saying he told when I first met my girl the mistake I made was telling her Keisha Cole was my crush. My girl didn't talk to me for a week. Oh yeah, you were trapped. Yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about Keisha Cole's mother. Let's talk about how attractive she is.
I really never thought Keisha Cole was very attractive, but yeah.
Her mom is a recovering addict. Now, her mom isn't ugly, but it is a little joke.
Yeah.
It's not making fun of her being an addict. Her mom is recovering, but her mom has a rough face. Her mom. I
don't even think I've seen I don't even know. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't think I've seen her mom before. Let's see. Layla L. Yeah, Layla. Yeah. Is she pretty when she takes that long weave out though? Is Bianca? Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank you for making this show appointment listening every Tuesday night. I thank you very much. Brandon Lacey, Von Erich, really? Okay. Hey, not bad, but she does not she does not look like Fritz. Papa Fritz. This episode is GHP. This episode is turned into the man cave. That's correct. That's absolutely correct. The man cave edition, ladies and gentlemen. I do it for you. Who? I don't think so. I mean, no, she's not bad. She's not bad. She's not bad. She's not unattractive, but she's just. If I was single, I wouldn't date Stephanie. So, yeah. Charmel, the queen, Charmel. All right. So let's talk about Austin Aries. a big jump there from the man cave edition to Austin Aries. Oh yes, Selena Vega. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of ex girlfriend there. Rob is saying something good I saw here. Debate of the best. Okay. Someday we should debate what the best WrestleMania opening matches were to date. I like that. I like that topic. I think that's a great topic. All right. So here we go. A tournament of who the most attractive woman in WWE history. That would be funny. It's fan choice, so it's not what I say. I would say my wife, but fan's choice. If you want to do it, we could do it. All right, so let's talk about Austin Aries. So Bound for Glory. Yeah, interesting. It was one of those things that it was one of those things that I definitely it didn't seem like it was super exciting overall, but solid show. The Sue Young stuff was just I mean it's Sue Young. That's what she does, but it was quite bizarre to me. Yeah, it was quite bizarre. Just the speaking of Kiera Hogan, her and Allie, the whole grave thing and all that stuff. It was just really, really crazy. Like you would think that Billy Corgan or Matt Hardy was still there. Well, Matt Hardy didn't do like that type of dark side stuff. That's Billy Corgan did a lot of that stuff with Decay when he was still there. So yeah, I that was odd, but the John Morrison and Austin Aries thing. Now some people are saying it's a work. Some people are saying it's a shoot. The interview that I just wrote about this recently about an interview that he did that John Morrison did. It seems like it's one of those things that it could be both. It really could be both. It really could be like, okay, I was really upset with you. This did hit a low point, but let's make some money from this. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that happening. But the only thing with Aries, though, is I don't know if Aries should be doing that type of stuff because the bad part is that Aries is notorious for, from what I've heard. Now, I know a lot of people in the business, and I know I have some friends in Impact Wrestling right now. From what I've heard, Austin Aries is known to be in the business for himself. Now, that's what I've heard. But here's the thing. I've never met Austin Aries. I don't know him personally. So that's only based on people who's worked with him. So yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those things that he was already a heel, and so making himself a bigger heel doesn't really do much. His contract expired. He didn't go to the tapings, and so I mean they tape months on end. So they're doing tapings. No, Aries isn't Canadian. I think he was born in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, or Wisconsin. I think he was born in Wisconsin. Milwaukee, I think he was born in. I think Austin Aries was born in. Let's see. I think he was born in Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check on that. Let me speak on this. Orale. I could stand when Conan would say that after a while. He was born. Let's see his birthplace. Man, 40 years old. I knew he was 78. I knew he was born in 78, but it's still kind of crazy to know that he's 40 now. Although he was in the infancy of ROH, though, and ROH has been around for 16 years. TNA too. They could start ROH and TNA started the same year. They've been around. Yep, born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yep. So yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, Aries is Wisconsin. Rob says. Yep. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But I mean, he didn't come to the tapings. So, and they tape months on end. So they did a Monday and a Tuesday taping in New York. So they'll probably they'll probably wait from their tapings. It seems like if he didn't come to either one of them, that means that you're looking like at least for the rest of the year. So he's gone from Impact for the rest of the year at least. So I went to last night's taping in Queens. Morrison referenced Aries being unprofessional in his promo, but Moose and Kross didn't. Things kind of went onward without him. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's a good. I'm glad that you told me that. Tweet that to me actually at Chris Prolific. I might write a piece on that. All right. So that's enough about Bound for Glory. Honestly, Aries thing was really the biggest part of it for Bound for Glory. I don't like the Moose and Killer Kross tandem. I like Killer Kross as a heel. Actually saw him work a House of Hardcore this year during Mania weekend. Has a really good look to him. Good grab for Impact Wrestling for sure. Definitely a good grab. Definitely played the good heel. I think it was like Petey Williams he beat up when he first came around in Impact Wrestling. But him and Moose, Moose is just, I like Moose a lot. And just him as a heel to me just doesn't work. He's so used to doing the whole Moose thing, Moose crowd interaction. Yeah. So hope that changes soon. Kudos to John Morrison for winning the title. It just adds to his long resume of world championships outside of WWE, AAA, Lucha Underground, the UK. So he's been champs. It's weird. D-Mac says, I like Moose and Kross, but at the same time, Moose could be a big face to me. Yeah. Wow, boy, since Ray is back, could Chavo return? Is he on good terms with the WWE? I don't see Chavo coming back anytime soon. I would like for him to come back. I think he had a pretty good, I think SmackDown 1000 would have been a really good place for him to come back. So.
He has from my inside sources of him. I don't think he really has any interest of coming back to WWE right now, but I can't confirm he's still in good terms with them.
Yeah, well, he works for Lucha Underground now, so right. Yeah, so he's not, contractually he's not going to do that. All right, so Raw thoughts, and then we'll jump into your live thoughts, your live recap from SmackDown Live. Everybody give Raw a grade. And then we got a couple headlines. We'll do the music for the audio. So for those listening to the audio, here you go. Headlines. Okay, so we'll talk about Raw. We'll throw in Tori Wilson returning for Evolution in the Raw talk, and then we'll also, So we're also, and then when we talk about SmackDown 1000, they WWE had the greatest SmackDown wrestler of all time. So I'm seeing C plus, C. What else? What else we got? C. What do you get at? What do you get, Raw, Evan?
Give about a C plus. The ending, I give about a B plus. Overall show C, C plus. But the ending I did like was you see a lot of the, the disruption between the dogs of war, whatever you call them. The Claymore kick on Strowman, Powerslams, and Ziggler. I kind of like the tension going on. The tease tension between the Shield. Other than that, Raw just started with a C. Average show.
Yep.
SOL is getting mundane every week.
Yes.
The war. We've seen it before. It's starting to get old. And WWE doesn't have any plan of letting the feud go for a while. And once we talk about SmackDown, I'll let you know a live note that I had to you based on that.
All right, so a quick recap. Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler. It was in Philly. Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre did an in-ring promo, interrupted by the Shield with Reigns and Rollins. He does things in Ambrose time, is what they were saying. Seth Rollins defeating Drew McIntyre for the World Cup qualifier. Ember Moon and Nia Jax defeating Tamina and Dana Brooke, which is sad because I think Tamina is so talented. I think she's so talented. I think Tamina would be a perfect person to feud with Ronda Rousey. She's one of a few people who actually looks like a legitimate test to Ronda Rousey. They should have brought her in as a foe to Ronda Rousey after she beat Nikki Bella at Evolution. She should have been attacked by Tamina. Like, why is it easy for me to think about these things and creative just dismisses them? They just bring her in. I mean, she's been gone for months. She's been gone for almost the whole year, and they just bring her in on an episode of Raw. Like that goes to show how much they're just not caring about Tamina. I don't like it at all. Like I said, she should have attacked Ronda Rousey at Evolution. I mean, simple as that, man. I don't understand that. It's not creative though, Chris, is Vince. Yeah, but at the same time, at least creative can pitch it. I mean, from what I've known, Vince has the okay to yes or no things, but there's a creative staff that puts things in place to at least present to Vince. So yeah, I mean, you can still. I mean, that's why you're paying the big bucks for the creative staff for them to put things together. So, all right, so let's skim through here. Ronda Rousey does an in-ring promo, interrupted by the Bella Twins. It was sketchy at first for Ronda Rousey, but she killed it at the end. She hit a home run at the end. I think it was obviously scripted, but I think that what I'm going to give Ronda Rousey kudos for was the facials, the cadence, the fact that she listened to the audience and she was able to really feed on the audience. That was really, really good. So I give her much applause for that. And then, kudos to Nikki Bella too, because she played it, she did the right facials to compliment Rousey. So that segment at the overall was pretty good. I give them that. Ziggler and Ambrose was a decent match. Finn Balor defeating Jinder Mahal, and then my man, Bobby Lashley. he comes in and does a narcissist Lex Luger / WCW Lex Luger with Elizabeth pose. Although I loved that latter day Lex Luger music, the dum 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 dum. Boom, boom. I love that music for some reason. I loved it. It was awesome. I think I might bring it up. But but Bob, yeah, Bobby Lashley. He had one of those moments. So we'll see Lashley as a heel. Looks like him and Finn Balor. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Lita and Trish in-ring promo interrupted by Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. They did nothing to me to excite me about this match. And Lita to me is the GOAT, but there was nothing to really excite me about this match, honestly. Trish, a legend, one of the best ever, but it doesn't seem like she's really emotionally invested in it. I mean, kudo, I hate to say anything negative about Trish because she, if it wasn't for Trish and Lita and a couple other people like Victoria, Mickie James, those people really are so instrumental in changing the scope of women's wrestling to have to look like less gimmicky, like 05, 06 bra and panties, Patty on a pole match and all that crap, so the early 2000s Trish was playing the whole gimmick thing, and then toward toward the advent of all the gimmick matches, that was a bad, like the Ashley Mazzaros and the Candice Michelles and the Tori Wilsons, which I'll just say now I don't understand. Like, I understand why they announced her for a namesake, and I get that, but Tori Wilson was never she was never a big name when it came to wrestling, when it actually matches. But so it's not really there's not really much that went into the fact that Tori Wilson's coming back to be in the Battle Royal. So yeah, I agree. Bring back the pyro. It's such a big void with no pyro for sure. When Edge came out and Mysterio came out, two people who kind of had their pyro be a part of their gimmick. It just, yeah. All right, so let's see what else we have here before we go to the flavor of the week. ALP defeated the El Conquistador, who wasn't Kurt Angle. Natalia defeating Ruby Riott by DQ. Looks like they're doing a 6-man match. I love Elias's heat. I love it. And I like the fact that they're actually trying to do something like Apollo. They're trying to do something on Apollo Crews. And he's actually a decent promo guy, ladies and gentlemen. Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Like, he's actually a decent promo guy. So I don't know what they're going to do with this. I hope they don't just, set him up just to bring, just to lose to Elias. But I hope he gets a win, man. Do something with the guy. He's super talented. I've said it many times on this show. I think he's the most underutilized person in WWE. Let him work. He looks like $1 million. So, I hope so. I hope they do something with him. So I think I got some for y'all. Flexi Lexi, baby. That's right. Flexi Lexi. Oh yeah. Lexi Lexi, baby. Someone said Lex Luger. Oh no. Yes, probably even longer. Yeah. All right, Shieldon against Strowman, McIntyre, and Ziggler. Interesting ending. The Claymore looked fantastic. Yeah. All right. It's kind of weird because I mean, you know, are you making Braun Strowman, you know, babyface again? Which is odd because you're not making McIntyre babyface because he's tag champs with Ziggler. So very odd stuff. All right, what would y'all give SmackDown 1000? Real quick, Ian, let me know your thoughts on being there live.
I give it a B minus for nostalgia. The crowd was very hot. Brave pop was decent. The Evolution segment was very funny. The crowd loved it. Felt good to see Evolution back. Funny off note, Batista was told to wrap it up because the segment went a little longer than expected because I saw the camera guy in the ring. So you guys met it actually coming on TV. Hopefully it was like social roll right there in the ring. Him was like wrap it up. He kind of was giving him the finger like this segment was going a little longer than normal. But it was good to see Evolution. And like the power was missing. Like where was the speed for Aries? Where was the pyro? It just looked away. Like Mysterio. I know you know they don't got him jumping off the train door. Ray looks smaller.
He does. He looks like WCW skinny again.
WCW.
Yes.
I just saw Ray. Everything saw earlier this year. And like he lost weight. Maybe it's good. Nakamura was laying some stiff shots from Ray.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you guys saw that at home, but you can clearly hear Chuck Robinson yell, "Go home." Overall, SmackDown was good. A lot of the crowd was hot. Nobody really got booed. New Day got over. The bar got a lot of cheers instead of boos. Michael Cole looked tired and upset. He didn't even shake nobody's hand after the show. The show seemed rushed. I think I inboxed it. It was like, is SmackDown going overtime?
Right.
This was one of the rare cases where I felt this should have been 3 hours as opposed to Raw. I felt like Edge was wasted. He just came. It comes out, says 3 words, and comes back. What? It's like,
you're right. Like, I got 3 words for you. You're right.
Cena doing his Facebook Live video, whatever you call it, tout. And it's like, why wasn't Cena there? I get The Rock not being there because he's The Rock. I get that. He's doing movies. But I just, Cena wasn't there. And I just think he should have been more. But better than Raw 25. I'll give it a B for nostalgia.
Yeah.
Ray and Nakamura was cool. The tag match was very well done. Daniel Bryan and AJ match was cool. Big Show cameo. Like, what's that? It's like, okay, is this the new three-man tag? But it was. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It really took stuff off there. Oh, real quick, the reason why I said, you're not planning to let this Shield doesn't want you to go anywhere because they announced that SmackDown will be back in DC the Monday before Mania, and they actually said on the promo that you get to see the Shield, Doug the Wolf, with Strowman, and the man tag match. And I'm like, dude, this is October.
Oh.
They're promoting it for April.
You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Send that to me. Send that to me so I remember that. Yeah, send that to me. Yeah.
And I did probably Becky making telling Edge don't hurt his neck leaving out the ring. I thought that was cool. It's like I'm not sexist, but you're Edge. How do you get pumped by a woman that's half your size?
Yeah. That was probably part of the night. Yeah, it's yeah. I like the fact that he grew his hair back though. Yeah.
Everyone pretty much, no one got booed. The loudest boo was
Vicky.
on a commercial when he did like the whole WWE thing, and it was showing basically superstars with all the athletes.
Yeah.
The biggest boo is when he showed Sting with Zeke Elliott, and he booed Zeke, of course, to do the Washington Redskin fans.
Right. Right.
That was the only definite boo. Everyone else got cheered. But other than that, it was cool. Enjoyed the show. The mixed tag match was after, Lashley and Mickey James shook hands. They rushed Ray out the ring. He walked behind us. So I was like, get out, because Taker was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoy Raw without him. Better than Raw 25, which isn't hard to do. Decent show.
Yeah.
But the most memorable stuff is the promos.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a few things before we go to the flavor of the week. First of all, I absolutely love Truth TV. Like, that makes my whole night on SmackDown. That is the greatest thing on SmackDown. I love it. I love the dance breaks. I love the fact that R-Truth is still reinventing himself. I love the fact that Carmella is aligned with Truth. It's making her really easy to transition to a babyface. She was the most annoying heel, and it's making it really easy for her to transition to a babyface because she's like the balance to R-Truth's zaniness. You know, I absolutely love R-Truth and Carmella. The dance breaks are hilarious. I think the opening segment, like, I popped for the opening segment, and it's you know, being in the business and as a journalist and just knowing the repetitiveness of just professional wrestling, specifically WWE, it's really hard for me to pop about something. I popped for that Truth TV segment. I loved it. I loved the dance breaks. The music is hilarious. It fits right into just the dancing. It's like dance break music. And then the fact that Vince McMahon says this, we got to entertain someone, and then he calls for the dance break too. I popped. I said, this is amazing. I even tweeted about it. Absolutely.
I didn't mention it in the opening segment because I was going to say that, but that was one of the main things I loved is the general managers. I love Vicky.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. I like that too.
John Schneider shows up, which you're like, wow. You just them three, you see the history of Smackdown. The only thing I would add is they should have, and this could have been some heat. You could have just had Brock come out, and he could have walked in the ring, you know, doing all the GM, and then he pointed and called Heyman. Like, why wasn't Heyman there? Heyman was the GM for SmackDown. If you're going to have Teddy, you're going to have Stephanie, you're going to have Laurinaitis, you're going to have this. Gotta have Hell Heyman as GM for SmackDown.
Yeah, that's true.
He was one of the instrumental parts of GM. This alone, you could have seen Brock in there. This is like a tease. He didn't have to do nothing. Like, oh, wait, Brock's here. And then it kind of like, oh, got you. And then here comes Heyman.
Yeah.
You know, Heyman could have did a quick promo, but he's the greatest GM of SmackDown. And it's not nitpicking. It's something, the only thing I would have added. But other than that, it felt more authentic. I know someone said too, like, Vince didn't care about SmackDown, but I'm sorry, I enjoyed this better. You know, I was at Raw 25 live than Raw 25.
Yeah, I liked it better than Raw 25 too. Yeah, certainly. I think this was almost leaps and bounds better than Raw 25 was. Yeah, well, cutting Miz versus Rusev, that was a quick match. Looks like, I mean, they're just building him an 8 in. Evolution promo. Looks like they were teasing Batista and Triple H finally. So yeah, I mean, Batista's been he's been saying that for a long time as far as just wanting to go against Triple H. And so I'll be fine with it. Batista looks like he's still in great shape. He'll be 50 in July, you know, and it's funny because Batista be 50 in July, and Triple H will be 50 in. I'm sorry, Batista be 50 in January, and Triple H will be 50 in July. So, you know, but they both still look in great shape. So if you can go, go. You know, and I'd be cool with them at Mania. I think Batista's a Hall of Fame guy. It looked great. You know, Washington pop for him. I was fine with it. I like the Evolution promo. Randy Orton stayed in character. You know, he started taking jabs at everybody else for Evolution. I think that was a good way to keep him a character. I think, you know, it was more than just a simple promo. There was actually a cliffhanger to it, which is great. I was a big fan of that. The bar beating the New Day. Go ahead. Yes, we did see that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I did notice that. Barbie and the New Day, that was odd to me because they lost against the New Day. They didn't earn a rematch, and then they just beat them because you had Big Show having his 30-second, 23rd, whatever heel turn flop. That it's like, and then you're feuding the Big Show. I mean, you're aligning the Big Show with the Bar, and it was so obvious to me. It was so obvious, like you're clearly about to choke slam Kofi Kingston right now, like you think that would have been the end of it. Like Big Show's music come out, he chases them away, and then he walks back to the ring, walks back to the to the back. Doesn't make sense. And so yeah, I don't know what they're doing with this. Maybe as an enforcer to the Bar, maybe to stack the deck to make the New Day have a 6th title reign. I don't know what they're doing, but hopefully the New Day wins it again. I would be okay with the Big E Big Show feud. I'll be fine with that. I think that would be a great way to put Big E over, keep him with the New Day, but still, you can put him over by beating Big Show. So many other people's done that. So why won't Big E? And picking up Big Show to put him in the big ending, that would be pretty cool. I thought Big Show was coming to get the Bar because they ruined the pancake. That's right, man. Can't ruin those pancakes. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be okay with Big E, Big Show, and I'll be, it'd be interesting to see if Big Show for Big E to put Big Show in the big ending. So I'm saying big a whole lot of times. So Big E, Big Show, big ending, big match, Big Show, big SmackDown, big, bigly. Mysterio and Nakamura. Yeah, it was, Nakamura has been so off since turning heel. Like his heel turn has done absolutely nothing for him. Like zero. It's done nothing. He lost the AJ feud. He beat Jeff Hardy for the U.S. title. He doesn't even defend the U.S. title on pay-per-views, and he loses on SmackDown. So it's like, what? I mean, he's done nothing. It's terrible. Yeah. Yeah, of course, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, he won the Royal Rumble main event. I mean, well, not main evented, but featured at WrestleMania against AJ Styles. But it's like, wow, man, I can understand if he wants to go back to New Japan because they're doing just a terrible job with Nakamura right now. Just a terrible job. He was so over when he came and doing his face run, and then when he turns heel, at the beginning it was okay, but it was just, I mean, it's chilled his character as a whole ridiculously. Absolutely.
No matter how hard you try it, right? I love what you sing. The crowd still was singing along with the song.
Yeah.
And it is impossible to not or to have that interest. It is one of a kind.
Mm-hmm. And he does the same thing. He does the same interest as he was when he was a babyface. Like he does. That's my thing is like, and that's a good point. Look at both Royal Rumble runners this year. Both of them have just their year in review have been not very good, unfortunately. And before we get to the flavor of the week, I wanted to ask this to the chat room. What do y'all like? Okay, so the Undertaker. I was just a random thought that I had that I took a note of to discuss real quick. Now, the Undertaker, he turned heel during the ABA, making JR kiss Vince McMahon's butt. That was he came back in 2001, I believe. He was injured in 2000 because he didn't wrestle at WrestleMania 16. Came back in 01. That's when he went against Triple H. Or he came back, I think it was like May of 2000, after the Iron Man match between Rock and Triple H, I believe it was. And then the biker, the rolling music, 2000 going into 2001. Then he turns heel, I think, late 2001 maybe, because I think 2002 was when he won the title, and he was a heel because he did the You're Gonna Pay music. That was 2002. So he turned.
Because right after that, he won the Hulk. He beat RVD for the Hulk World title with Vengeance, and one of them was one of them.
Yeah.
And he went to 02 as a heel. But I think.
So when did he? Was he turn? Did he turn 02? Did he turn face in 02, or was it? No, no, that's when he turned heel. When did he turn face again? Maybe.
It was late 02 because remember Hell in a Cell, October 02 when he fought Brock, and he was face.
Yeah, the biker chain match.
It was like summer of 02.
Yeah, because biker chain match was 03, right? No Mercy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the World Ugly Show plan was him against Hogan and Judgment Day. So it was summer 02 because.
Because the Vengeance triple threat was July of 02, and he was a babyface there, and I believe,
right.
Or maybe he would have been. No, maybe he was still a heel because it was what Rock, Angle, and Taker, right? And yeah, it was still heel. Yeah, because he was feuding against Brock, right? Because Brock won in 02 SummerSlam. Because he beat The Rock. Test, yeah. Yeah. So he's been face for 16 years straight. That's something to think about. Like,
did you count the 3 weeks when he was heel? When he came,
Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar? No. When he
had short hair. Remember Heyman was GM and Heyman kind of had control for like a few weeks. He had the short hair.
Yeah.
Team Stone Cena and beat up RVD.
Yeah.
For that concrete trip match. Count that.
Yeah, because he was feuding against the Dudleys too. He was babyface feuding against the Dudleys though. But Dudleys were heels. So very interesting. All right, real quick, flavor of the week. Here we go.
It is now time for the flavor of the week.
Okay, so this week's flavor of the week looks like Chapman was talking about some NXT stuff. Vince won't know how to do with Velveteen Dream, so I agree. I think he should stay in NXT. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. First of all, I'm gonna do some trivia because I haven't done trivia, and I'm gonna do a bunch of trivia at the end. So let's hurry up with this flavor of the week. Here it goes. What was Viscera's name in ECW? That's the first one right now. Adam Cole for next live chat. That'd be great, but WWE is very strict. I know people in WWE have relationships with a few people in WWE, and they're very strict with that. Big Daddy V, that's correct. Good job, Wild Boy and Brandon. Big Daddy V. All right, so real quick, 10 people that you would choose in the WWE that should if we started a new WCW. Now we might do just WWE today, and we might do non-WWE next week. We might do that. So give me 10 people from current WWE. If you were to start a new WCW, who would 10 people? So I'm gonna see some names here. I'm gonna start writing them down. I'm gonna write 10 names down, and that's who that we're gonna start this new WCW. If there were 10 names that you would want to start a new WCW, what would it be? So Daniel Bryan, okay, I'll put him down. Daniel Bryan, okay, I'll put one down too. Yeah, you can count NXT, Wild Boy. I see Asuka. Interesting. Okay. Really, Goldust. Goldie's the man, but yeah, okay, I'll put him as an agent. He's a great booker. I'll put him down as a booker, as one of the executives. No, Sting never needs to be GM. That's too much Sting. Sting needs to keep the mystery. AJ Styles, I like that one. Although, yeah. Air Paris, you don't want that. Undisputed, yeah, right. Undisputed Era, okay. I'm just writing down the top 10. Let's see here. I'll put them as one unit. Finn Balor, really? Really? Finn Balor? Oh. I wouldn't choose Finn Balor, but Lars Sullivan. Okay, AOP. I'll put them down as one unit. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 more. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what they say. Okay, I see Ricochet and the Revival. If you want my honest opinion, I don't think this WCW will last long. But I'll be interested to see how you guys work this. But here's your 10. Daniel Bryan, Asuka, Charlotte Flair, AJ Styles, Undisputed Era, Finn Balor, Lars Sullivan, ALP, Ricochet, and Revival. Those are the first 10 that I saw. So next week, I'm gonna keep this list and we're gonna see how we're gonna work this out and book these people. I'm gonna keep it. All right, so we have time really quick to do 10 non-WWE. GSP says, I agree, man. Shake my head. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see that going too well. All right. 10 non-WWEs. All right, Kenny Omega. I think that's a great choice, actually. Cody Rhodes, okay. That's another good choice. What else you got? Jericho, okay. Chris Jericho. Okay, Hangman Page. I could see him being a big heel. You can only do one at a time, Rob. I'll take Penta. That's a good choice. Zero Miedo. I like that. Su Young, okay. I can dig it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Kazuchika Okada. Yes. Jay Lethal. Yes, absolutely. That's my boy. Tama Tonga. I like that choice too. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Tama Tonga. I really like that choice for Tama Tonga. So Mike Today and Tony Schiavone. Okay, we'll use them as we'll make them the broadcasters. All right, let me see one more for the non-WWE, which I think is a far better list than the WWE one was. Marty Skull. Okay, so I see Marty and Naito. I saw Marty first. I would pick Naito over Marty, but both are good. Both are good choices. Tessa Blanchard. Okay, I like that one too. But here's the 10. Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Chris Jericho, Hangman Page, Penta Jr., Su Young, Kazuchika Okada, Jay Lethal, Tama Tonga, and Marty Scurll. All right. So we're going to keep these lists and we're going to work with them next week. We're going to plan it. We're going to who's the champ, who's the heels, the faces, who's the mid-card champs. So those are the 20 people in our new WCW, the P&P WCW, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's have some fun with that next week. Kudos to my man JTG. What was Brandy Rhodes' name in WWE? That's my next trivia question. I'm sorry I didn't give as much trivia questions today. Sorry about that. Be sure to put this over. Be sure to plug PNP and other podcasts on Twitter, on Facebook. Spread the word. Let's continue to spread this show. I love you all. You are so awesome. Thank you so much for JTG, my boy Evan Tech Proud, always hitting home runs on the show. On behalf of Evan, I am Chris Featherstone, ladies and gentlemen. Until next week, enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless, and always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye. All right.